Welcome back to the Pats Podcast. I'm your host, Philip Hensler, and together we're going to explore different facets of athletic training, our colleagues, and their stories. So stick around. Let's be better athletic trainers. Welcome back to the Pats Podcast. I'm here with Matt Shade. Matt's been on the show before. We were talking finances. You were with IPG Philly back
Correct.
then.
Yep.
Now it's changed up a bit.
Yeah, so we recently merged with National Financial Network,
Okay.
so also known as NFN.
Okay, that's awesome. And Matt, the reason why I have you, I wanted you to come and sit down and chat. We kind of have like the same story.
Mm-hmm.
We were both athletic trainers, and we were working in the profession for years, and then we wanted to change, but we didn't want to like completely just leave athletic training. And I came back. Obviously, I'm doing the podcast and the headshots for the students and working with Pats. You're servicing athletic trainers in a different way.
Yeah, really providing just financial education for athletic trainers. And first, thanks for having me back on, and it's great to actually be back in person, right?
I know the Zoom, the remote podcasts were fun, but I mean, this in-person thing, I'm absolutely loving. I think I've show number 12 right now.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 days.
That's incredible. And again, thank you for providing this type of service to the audience and to athletic trainers across the state.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it, and always enjoy listening to the shows. But yeah, with being here and providing career shift, finances, it's almost like right field when you're talking with athletic trainers, and it's like, wait, how does finances translate to athletic training, vice versa. But it's something that as society, like, we don't talk about it, we're not educated about it, and as healthcare professionals, our primary goal is to treat athletes, provide healthcare, so we're not expected to know it, but yet
I don't remember having a finance class in undergrad.
Nope, it's not there. And unfortunately, when you come out in the real world, it hits. It's like a light switch, and all of a sudden you have all these things going on. It's like, how do I juggle it? And as athletic trainers, we're overworked, underpaid, so to speak. That's the mantra. But if we can just be a little bit more educated and just make informed decisions. I shared my story on the last podcast, but it's finances drove me to make career choices. And I was chasing the buck versus doing what I was passionate about and trying to be able to figure out financially. So hopefully we can help provide value and inform athletic trainers so that they can make educated decisions and not get so caught up on chasing the buck, but
Right.
making what they have work for them.
Okay. No, I love that philosophy. That's awesome. So one of the really cool things, and we were talking about this a little bit last night at the Young Professionals social, how our skills of of being an athletic trainer transition to our new line of work. And that's something I want you to kind of talk on because how does being an athletic trainer, how did the interactions with your athletes help you in the financial market?
Mm-hmm. And with any passion, right? If you have a passion, you're passionate about it. Athletic training for me was being able to educate my athletes first and foremost. When they have an injury, this is what's going on. This is how you treat. This is what you can expect, and being there through the process, start to finish. Finances is the same way, and the beauty of it is I get to build the relationships. I get to assess the financial situation, and then I refer to what's the next appropriate step. It may not be to me, it may not be to my company, but if it's something that we can help direct and you maintain that relationship and you're there just to provide the education, not being sold a product, but
Right.
Actually having the relationship and just communication, having conversations. I think most of us as athletic trainers, we like the bus rides, the locker room stories, the athletic training room stories. Like, that's what we remember the most, working with athletes. And it's almost the same on the financial side. It's, yes, we'll get you to retirement. We'll have that, those days will come, but it's the relationship along the way and the journey, start to finish.
So one thing I really picked up on was the way you described how you kind of figure out what you want to recommend to your clients is the same way that we're doing in eval.
Correct.
And it's almost like identical to Athletic Training 101 our sophomore year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. treat every individual as an individual. Every injury is going to be slightly different.
Yep.
So do a thorough assessment, do a thorough evaluation, and then come up with a customized plan of care for that individual.
I don't know. I'm a big nerd. I think that's really awesome, though. All right. So, since you've already on the podcast before, we're not going to go through all like the crazy things that we usually ask. But we're in Hershey, sweetest place on earth. What is your favorite candy?
Oh, so I'm a big peanut M&M guy.
Peanut M&M?
Yep.
All right.
And also gummy bears. I'm a sucker for gummy bears.
Gummy bears?
But yeah, I'd have to go peanut M&M.
I like the Reese's with the Reese's Pieces in them,
Oh,
the mega ones.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
That's a good pick too.
Got to go with the peanut butter. Where do you see the profession going? So, obviously, you've been an athletic trainer. You've been out of the field full time for about how long now?
Technically, I still do DME fittings.
Okay.
So, I still practice a little bit, but out of the traditional setting.
Yeah, from traditional full time.
Yeah, so it's been now 6 years that I've been out.
So since then, obviously the profession's progressed a little bit. Where do you see it going in the next 5 to 10 years?
I'm actually really excited. Just again, we work with clients across the country, but seeing athletic trainers going the entrepreneur, building their own business, right? We are getting a lot of recognition in different settings, which is huge. Industrial setting, military setting, all these weren't when I was coming out, not even in the conversation. But the hardest part is still it's getting that education to your traditional settings, like the secondary schools, and getting the value there and building those relationships. But I think athletic trainers as a whole, we have so many more opportunities to expand and grow. Like you started a side business, right? And had that entrepreneur mindset, and there's going to be those type of opportunities. And we see and work with clients who still have their traditional job, but they're building these side businesses, and it's gaining a lot of momentum, and they're actually thriving, going it as their own business owner. So I'm excited to see where those opportunities take athletic trainers as well.
That's awesome. What's one of the most common mistakes you see an athletic trainer make financially? Without going into like super detail.
Yeah, I would say procrastination.
Okay.
It's I can put that off, or a scarcity mindset early on where you don't feel like you have enough money, or like I'm not making enough to sit down and like really figure out my finances.
Guilty as charged right here.
And yeah, it's never too early to start, and it can be so small and incremental, and people don't even realize how that can have a compounding effect over the years and your working years. So it's just starting and making small little adjustments along the way versus trying to tackle it all at once.
Awesome. What's your favorite part about working with athletic trainers in the financial setting?
I feel it's a brotherhood, sisterhood, right? So like, I just feel comfortable in having the conversations. It's funny, I get in some conversations, meetings with clients who aren't athletic trainers, and I'm like, I feel out of place. But as soon as an athletic trainer walks in and sit down, I just feel at peace, at ease, and it's natural.
It's ingrained in us.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I love hearing the stories. I love hearing about their goals and like what they hope to achieve, and like what they're excited about, whether it's career-wise and or being able to create that work-life balance, like small things that make such a big difference, and just being able to be a mentor, like a sounding board. And here, I can introduce you to someone who's going through a similar situation, talk with them, have a conversation.
Awesome. I love it. If you haven't checked out the podcast that Matt was on earlier last year or the year before, I forget, it's been a while. Go ahead, search. It's all in the archives. Go ahead, search it, and I encourage you to listen to it. It was a really good show. Matt, it was great catching up with you.
Thank you
so much.
It's good to see you in
person finally, and good luck with everything.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, this brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of the Pats Podcast. If you liked what we did here, please remember to like and consider subscribing to the episodes. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or you want to hear any topics, or if you want to become involved in helping with the podcast. Until next time, I'm Philip Hensler, and this was the Pats Podcast.